Hello, everyone. This is Yodakiller, and welcome back to the Hyperspace Cube channel. Wanted to give you guys a little update on CAD Tarkin Town, an update for PQ season. PQ is starting first week of January, and I have one next week. And so, yeah, I've been hard at work trying to find improvements to the Django matchup and kind of adjusting as well to the meta. So, without further ado, let's see what we have in store here. Uh, well, let's just start talking about our toughest matchup. This is kind of the matchup that I've been trying to kind of crack and try to make a little bit better. It's still really rough, and I think it's always going to be rough. Um, just they are faster. They have lurking type phantom, which shuts down our Cad Bane ability, and they can easily just tap us down and just win the race. I always seem to be if I do win, it's by an action or two, or I just get completely crushed and it's not a game. So let's see. With my changes though that I did make it, I hope that it has in testing it has improved, but it just really comes down to if the cards line up. To give you a little example of why they're so much faster and better, this is kind of the list I've been working on. They just have, just daring raids. They have a lot of ships that go space. I love this deck. It reminds me a lot of Boba Red. And they're just fast. They have surprise strike, breaking in, sneak attack, main deck, which sneak attack, ruthless raider. Not to mention triple dark raid, of course. Just start chaining like ruthless raiders and tapping down your Cad Bane. It just and Cad's already a slow leader to begin with, coming out on turn 6. So once they have Django out there and you have yet to deploy and Django's still alive, it's just becomes an uphill battle. Um, I do think as well, if they ever get a Vampraise going, that's just going to be pretty game over just because most of our units are on the ground. So some cards to help against Django, Daring Raid. I think Daring Raid's an important card right now, especially there's just going to be so many Tarkin Town decks at the PQ, I expect. And so we already pinged to begin with. So it's I kind of want to help utilize like my pings and be able to kill off their X2 units. So they play a lot of these 2 defense units. So as long as I could kill an elite P38 on that turn, so that next turn they won't have the ability to use it, or they triple dark raid into one of these, kill it off that turn so it doesn't bounce back into their hand in order for them to replay it and tap down another one of your units. I also like to use Daring Raid to save Tarkin Town. I think there's just a lot of units out there that you know you really want to save Tarkin Town if you could, um, and save it for like important cards like Wrecker, and Poe and other matchups. And then here, if you could try to get a fire spray out off the board or ruthless raider, we will take some damage, but if you can just get it from going back into their hand, that'll help as well. Um, tough, of course. This is a very tough card. So cards to help, it's going to be sneak attack. I've tried it main deck. Um, it's hit or miss. I mean, it's good to just try to get this off the board as soon as possible, so you can sneak attack one of your space units and just nab it completely. With if they triple dark rated or if they just play it, because once this hits the board, they have a very very good um, units to protect it by tapping our units, targeting towning, and then from there it's free to kind of roam if you don't have No Good Me Dead or Waylay or your space units to kind of combat in space. So that's just something that I've thought about. Um, one major change that I'm very very excited about is Cunning. Just want to buy time on the Cad deploy. Cad's 6 resource turn is very very awkward sometimes. It's very slow. So sometimes I kind of rely on doing like Jabba plus Waylay, and then any other tricks I have in hand, or it's one of those turns where it's like a Bazine and then like a Forlom, and then you have triggers off Cad Bane. But I thought to myself, you know what? How can I buy some time as playing someone who's played like Green Vanillin for a long time? Paying for 6 for something is not out of the norm. Playing Vigilance for 6 is not out of the norm. It's still a great card. And of course, Cunning is one of the best cards. I used to play Han Yellow a lot. So being able to kind of tap down their units and give a +4 to Cad Bane is going to really help to close games out. I find that I'm like an action or two short on some of these matches. So being able to get a big swing turn by attacking, for 8 with Cad Bane and then another couple units that you have, they're just not going to have enough actions to get you. So this is something that I want to utilize. I think this also helps like the Anakin matchup, where the Anakin player might just start with Obi-Wan, and I can just go ahead, bounce Obi-Wan, give a +4 to Cad Bane, and then now I kind of hold them hostage there. Another tough matchup is this Sabine. Sabine, this match is closer now. I think it's now 50-50. And if they're back on Darksaber, so expect Darksaber now. So you really do have to always prepare for that to happen. So having an opportunity to clear units before she deploys is very important. Because then they're going to have to play a unit or else take the chance of flipping and you just playing Forlom and killing Sabine. But if this ever connects, you need to have answers for it. Of course, another really, really tough is, Wrecker and ECL on your Cad Bane turn. So another card you need to watch out for. And that's why it's like Bazine's one of the most important cards. So I can always try to find, the Darksaber before it gets put on, or the Wrecker, and get it out of their hand. I like to try to find a way to make them use ECL early. If the ECL is used, then you're good to go and you're kind of clear. The matchup becomes much, much easier. Main deck considerations for the mirror. I expect a lot more mirrors as well. So I've played around with having 2 of these main deck. The problem that I found was I can't protect Lurking TIE Phantom like Django can. So, I could, theoretically kill a space unit, but then from there, if they lead up with a 2/3, and I just play this, I just can't protect it. I'm going to get picked off. So it is a great card. It's going to be an important card in the mirror. I also think as well, I considered it because it helped a little bit in the Django matchup where I can match, theirs and mine, and it'll become a race of who can protect Phantom, or at least I can use it to trade into theirs. Sideboard consideration. So Relentless Pursuit is a card I started testing. I like it. It's theoretically you could go ahead and just get the Ruthless Raider or the Fire Spray, but I thought, with the addition of Cunning, I can kind of take care of that by either tapping it down or bouncing it back in their hand. So that's kind of a little bit why I'm kind of down on it, but it is a sideboard consideration. I've thought about another Cunning as well, just to maximize for me to see it by the time Cad Bane rolls around and help buy time and close games out quicker. Confiscate, I think, is going to be very, very important. If you do see Blue Bosk, it's going to help out as well to try to get the tough targets or get them the death mark so they don't draw cards. To defeat the Darksaber after making that for resource investment. Traitorous. There's just a lot of utility right now. Jedi Lightsaber. So this is something that I'm very, very much still testing. And 4-stroke is a big one. If you can just take Sabine off the table, take some X5 units, because I expect now with Tarka Town being so popular, there's going to be a way for other decks to counter you would be for them to play something that costs that is cheap and it also has a big butt, so 5 defense, so helps to tackle that, and it can take out Kira, which is another card that can be very annoying coming from Quinlan. Without further ado, this is kind of where I'm at right now for the January 4th PQ in Chicago. I'm about 70% chance that I'll take this Cad Bane. But right now, this is kind of what I've been testing. I'm liking the one of the Cunning. I've tested, three no good. Now there are two of them. I've tested, putting them in the sideboard, um, and kind of just rolling with a little bit more of the sneak attack main deck instead. This is kind of like a card that I kind of use one or the other, just because that's a lot of cards you're using from your hand to unload. I also think too the Darren raids have really helped a lot. They're cheap, and if you ever get Bosk to stick out there, this is just going to be a lot of damage that you're going to be dealing with. I did cut Bosk down from 3 to 2 just because I already have kind of being able to see Zekis or Bosk, or I'll do like a Jabba turn and a Darien raid turn. I find that's okay for my five resource turn. Um, Also too, I put a Whaley in the sideboard just because that's just going to be an important card in matchups like Django, just to get the Ruthless Raider not to connect, or the Fire Spray not to connect, and make them spend 6 resources. You bounce it, and kind of set them back a little bit. So this is kind of where I'm at right now, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm going on vacation soon, so I'll get back the day before the PQ. So I kind of locked in on a few decks. So yeah, let me know. Give the list a try, and if there's any feedback or anything that you think is changing or something, please let me know in the comments below. All right, take care, everyone.